dictionaries in Python. And by the end, we'll hopefully be able to create a quiz for capital cities. So dictionaries in Python are quite complicated. And I'd say the thing that most relates to them in real life is a dictionary, which is quite fortunate. So when you look something up in the dictionary, first you look up the word that you want to know. So you say putare, so that's a word in Latin to thing. And then you find it in the dictionary and you get the word thing. But let's say you want to look up the word think, but you're only getting Latin to English. So we start with our word think, which is what we're trying to look up. Then we look up ab, which is the first word, and abacus, which is the second word. And then we keep going until we get to putare, which means the thing. And then we know that the thing is equal to putare. So when you've got the stuff you want to look up, which is known as the keys, it's a lot easier to find. Whereas if you have a dictionary the other way around, and you've got the values, and out of interest, putare is part of the modern day word computer, in the sense that you say computer, and the computer comes from putare, which means the thing. But with a dictionary, first we define it. And so a dictionary has a key and a value, and they're in curly braces and separated with a colon. So if we use this example, we've got ab, which means after, and here we've got key, and then our value, and of course these are strings. Then we separate them by a comma, like a list. Then we have another string, and this is the key and this is the value, and we keep going. This can be as long as you want, but you can't have duplicate keys, because otherwise you say, I want the word, for example, for ab, and it doesn't know which key to choose. But you could, for example, have a value which is after, by, and so on. And then something like this looks like a dictionary. It's got curly braces, stuff separated by a comma, but it's not a dictionary, it's a set. And that's because it's got keys, but there are no values. And then if you mix them, or have no comma, so this is saying A is B is C, that doesn't make sense either, so also don't do that. Then you can reference a dictionary, and if we keep our same list, then you reference it in the same way you reference a list. So this is your key, and this is your value. So after the key, it returns value. And in fact, you could think of a list as a dictionary, but where the keys are integers, because the keys don't have to be strings. And you can also define stuff. So you could say dictionary ab is equal to ab, or dictionary cum is equal to with. And so now when you look up ab, you'll get ab. When you look up cum, you'll get with. And cum is where the first part of computer comes from, which means with. So you can think of a computer as something to think with you. And then you've also got a bunch of dictionary methods in the same way you've got list methods. And you've got the keys, which gives you a list of keys. You've got the items, which gives you a list of the keys and the values in this kind of strange form. Then you've got the values, which gives you a list of values. So now we're going to play with that, see it in a bit more detail by creating a capital cities quiz. So to start, I've already got this dictionary of capital cities. You can get the code of GitHub to download it. But before we do that, we want to import random so that we're not asking you the same questions every time. And we don't want to really import everything, so we'll just import the modules we need. We're going to import choice. And so we're going to make this a 10-question quiz. So we'll start by saying that the score is 0. And then for I in range 10, we've got 10 questions. We want to get a question, so we'll come up with a country. And interestingly, we could make the I an underscore, which is kind of a new convention that's coming along. But we'll leave it as it is. So we want to choose a random capital city, and for the last video, remember the best way to do that is to pick using random.choice, which we've imported. So we'll say that the country is a choice because this has been imported from random. and we want the capital cities, we want the keys. And then we want to ask, what is the capital of, and then because it's input not print, we have to put in the country. And we put a question mark and we'll put it on a new line to make it look nice. And we want to store this, so we'll say that the answer is equal to that. Then we want to check if they're right. So if the answer is equal to, then we take our dictionary and we look up the country in the same way that we're looking up a word in our Latin dictionary. And so if that's correct, we print correct, and then we want to increase their score, and we add 1. Otherwise, we'll print the capital of, we'll put the country, and then is, and then city. Although we can get the city again using this, or we can say that this is, we can put city there and say that the city is equal to this, which is a bit more efficient because if this is a really long dictionary, which it is, we don't have to go through it multiple times. Although you won't really notice the difference because Python is pretty quick. And then at the end, we want to print the score. So we'll print you scored, and then we want to put the score as a string. And we put the score, and we put /10. And we'll set the separation equal to nothing. And at the end, we'll print the score, so we'll print you scored. And we'll put score, and we'll put out 10. And if you want, you could put different messages based on how well they did, and of course here. And of course here we need separation to nothing. And so now we can run this. And we should immediately get an error. And it says object is not subscriptable. And what it's trying to say is this is not actually a list. The dictionaries.keys object, which is kind of confusing. But we can just fix this by casting it or converting it into a list. And then this should work. So I'll run it again. The first question is, what's the capital of Congo? Well, that's Brazzaville. So correct. What's the capital of Denmark? Copenhagen. What's the capital of Togo? And that's Lome. What's the capital of Mexico? That's Mexico City. What's the capital of Denmark? Again, because our random choice doesn't take what we've taken out. If you wanted to improve it, you could try deleting or having a list of stuff you've already chosen, so you don't ask the same question twice. But I'll just put Copenhagen again. What's the capital of the United Arab Emirates? And that's Abu Dhabi. What is the capital of Liberia? And even though I know it's Monrovia, I'm just going to put something wrong in so that we can see that it works when we get it wrong. I'll just put a question mark. And it says the capital of Liberia is Monrovia. What is the capital of Canada? Ottawa. And that one's not great because I can actually just see that it's Ottawa. So maybe when we run this, we could open it in a new window. What's the capital of Azerbaijan? That's Baku. It's Baku. What's the capital of Bahamas? That's Nassau. And it says correct. You scored 9 out of 10. So it definitely works. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You've learned a few capital cities. Of course you can do this with anything where you have a question and an answer. It doesn't have to be capital cities. If you're interested in the code, it will be on GitHub. And so if you don't want to make capital cities, you can make your own quiz for anything. You could add customized responses, change it however you want. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you again same time next week. Till then.